she kept my name in her mouth because she wanted to be with me. She wanted us to work out.
Halle Berry will go down as one of the greatest actresses of her generation. With a rare combination of talent and extreme beauty, Halle Berry has been sought after for many years in romantic relationships and also in movies. Her success in her career has spanned over 3 decades, and she isn't slowing down anytime soon. And despite the fact that she's extremely beautiful and extremely talented, Halle Berry has been known as a woman that just can't keep a man.
I've heard people say, something must be wrong with Halle Berry. She can't keep a man. Who's to say I want to keep a man? I don't want to keep the wrong man.
But wait, there's more.
When you find that you make a mistake, we all make mistakes. We have a right to say, oh God, this was a mistake. Let me start again. We have a right to do that.
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass down. Who the f*** you think you is?
Unlike her successful acting career, Halle Berry's romantic history has been terrible at best. She was once married to Eric Benet. That didn't work out. Olivier Martinez. Then she had some partners, Gabriel Aubrey and Van Hunt. Currently, yeah, he's still there for the time being. But the most interesting relationship was with Black American husband David Justice. Now, for those who grew up in the 90s, David Justice was that dude. And in the 90s, baseball was a lot more popular than what it was now. Him and the Atlanta Braves were always getting it popping, and they won 2 World Series. So when Halle Berry, who's from Cleveland, married David Justice from Cincinnati, it was an Ohio love affair that the world was ready to see, especially when you have 2 Black Americans, young and popular. It was the hot thing to do. David Justice went and talked about this marriage that ended almost 30 years ago on a podcast, and he started spilling the beans.
One thing that probably, I would say, hurt the most is Halle had a relationship with a gentleman who hit her on the side of the head. And so she lost some hearing. But she never made him public. And I'm not gonna make him public because I ain't gonna do him like that. I know who it is. But for people to think, oh, it had to be David Justice because the only person they associated her with was me. Now she said it was a former boyfriend. I'm not a former boyfriend, I'm her husband.
Right.
That's different.
Big difference.
But literally from 96 until even today, sometimes I'll see someone on social media. Well, he hit her in the head. And I'm like, oh, that's just a quick Google search.
Yeah.
Now, David Justice is talking about the fact that Halle Berry had a relationship with a boyfriend who was abusive. And because of this, she lost some hearing. But wait, there's more.
But one thing I didn't like is, but she let you think that.
Right.
She let the world think it.
That's tough.
She didn't come out and say,
That wasn't him.
oh, no, it wasn't David. But I'm not going to say who it was, but it wasn't him. No, she let the world think that it was me. And that I never appreciated with her. I thought she was dead wrong for that. I thought she should have handled that better.
Now, David Justice said even though he didn't do it because he was her husband, not a boyfriend, Halle Berry allowed everybody around the world to believe this. And still to this day, people call David Justice a woman beater and all of that. And it's interesting that David Justice reveals that the reason why Halle Berry did this is because he left her. When David Justice left Halle Berry, he ended up marrying somebody that was Hispanic, Rebecca Villalobos, and stayed married to her until this day.
Damn.
But wait, there's more.
So I'm looking at my mom, and a wife at that time should cook, clean.
Traditional.
You know, and then I'm thinking, okay, if we have kids, you know, is this the woman I want to have kids with and build a family with? And at that time, as a young guy, she don't cook, don't clean, don't really seem like motherly.
Now, David Justice mentions here that dealing with Halle Berry wasn't really the thing for him because he grew up and saw in his home that his mother cooked and cleaned. And when he looked at Halle Berry, she wasn't that kind of woman. So he thought to himself, well, do I want my kids to grow up quite like that? And so what it shows is a man that's successful like David Justice, and despite the fact that Halle Berry is successful and all of that, but still, he didn't feel that her success, it should stop him from her motherly or wife duties. Yes, you're rich, all right, and that's great. Yes, you have money, but hey, David Justice played professional baseball, and guess what? As a person that plays baseball, he's still going to be expected to provide, take care of his wife, do the things that a man is supposed to do. However, in the case of Halle Berry, he just didn't see that. She wasn't interested in that. And so he thought about, as a man building a family, he had an example, his own mother and his own father. And this is what a lot of black men are looking at in today's world. We do look at the fact that, hey, if you're a woman and you don't really like to cook or you don't really like to clean and you're not domestic, well, let me just say this. It's going to put a thought in a brother's ear, because as much as men can make money in different ways, like I'm making some money talking to you guys over the internet, we're expected to, number one, provide, number two, protect, number three, sacrifice. It doesn't matter if it's 2025 or if it's my grandfather's year when he got baptized, 1949, we are still as men expected to do the same thing. What about women? Yes, even though if you're rich, you're successful, what are the basic needs that you need to be as a woman, as a caretaker, as a wife? That's not gonna stop you from that. And if a man feels that he can get it from someplace else, he will just not put up with it. But then he talks about this other specific thing that happened.
She see an actor that she worked with one time, and he came in, hey, kissed him on the lips.
Oh.
What are we doing around here?
Was he European or American? I'm
yeah,
confused.
American.
What is going on here?
What? Oh, so I know this is going to be a conversation. So we get home and I ask about that. Oh, that's what we do in LA. Oh, okay then. So now her manager and I used to go to this restaurant all the time. I had a young lady at the front seat us all the time. We went there so much, she became so friendly. We got to hugging her every time we come in. Hey, how you doing? Just regular hug. Take Halle and his wife to lunch one time. I said, Halle, this is such and such. This is Halle, right? Halle looked at that girl, saw how fine she was. Man, she gave her one of them, like barely touched her hand, right? Just played her crazy. I was embarrassed, I was like, but wait, hold on. I just hugged the girl.
Right.
You kissed this dude.
Now, David Justice is talking about the fact that he was hanging out with his wife at the time, Halle Berry, and some man comes up, stop the show. Most likely a white man.
Got him!
And while he's having dinner with her, the man comes up and kisses her on the lips in front of her husband.
What?
Now, this is disrespectful because your husband is the man that's there. And even if you are in Hollywood and that's what happens, a man should not kiss you on the lips at any time. And what that means is if he's kissing you on the lips right there in front of your husband, who knows what you're doing behind the scenes, right? But also he mentions in that whole scenario is that when he was going to a restaurant, just giving a waitress a hug, he saw that Halle Berry had an attitude. She didn't seem as friendly or understanding as David Justice was to the actress in Hollywood that was doing whatever he was doing. And that left a bad taste in his mouth. Okay, so this is okay for me, but not for thee. So number one, you don't want to be a woman that is handling women responsibilities or wife responsibilities or motherly responsibilities. And yet at the same time, you have no respect for my authority. Now, he didn't say that, him and Halle Berry argued a lot or they had a lot of problems and all of that, but he realized that he can get more out of the relationship for who he was as a man. David Justice was an excellent baseball player. He was one of the best of his time, all right? He was a 3-time All-Star. He was the ALCS MVP. He was a 2-time world champion. He was a National League Rookie of the Year. I mean, the guy was doing his thing. And if you looked at Halle Berry, the quality of men that she could get, year and year after that was nowhere near David Justice. I mean, there's Eric Benet. Eric Benet was okay for a little bit. Olivier Martinez, trash. Gabriel Aubrey, trash. Van Hunt, well, he's past his prime, whatever. So there was never a guy like David Justice. And in fact, those other dudes, some of them, I believe if it's not Olivier Martinez, and gave her Aubrey, she ended up having to pay child support. And these were men that were white.
Got him.
Why? Because guys who have money and opportunity just don't want to put up with that. The men who have or don't have or have a lack of opportunity, they will put up with almost anything, right? And this is not to crap on guys who are, regular or middle class, because to be honest, you could always get that one guy like Will Smith who has every opportunity in the world to do whatever he wants to do, and he'll still stick it through with somebody who hates him like Jada Pinkett. But overall, a man, if he can get more or do better, he will. He said he left Halle Berry at the time she was considered one of the most beautiful women in America and never called her ever again. That's hard to do. It's hard for a lot of guys to do that now. And she's 58. She's not bad looking at all. But the reality is that he knew he could do better. So he did. Any man who understands what he can get on the market is not really worried about a Halle Berry. I mean, this is a guy that was winning World Series. He was living in Atlanta. He was doing his thing. He was living life. He's not really worried about her. And that's exactly what the situation is. I mean, it's kind of what happens. He won one World Series with the Atlanta Braves and another with the Cleveland Indians. So, I mean, what am I doing here? I'm still getting all the hot chicks. I'm getting chicks that are, playing along with my program whenever I feel like it. She can go. And this is exactly what happens. You can be fine as you want, but if you're not listening, if you're not showing no respect, they are going to get you out of there. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Pretty sure for all you do, subscribe to the bell. We're out.